Let's now take a general programming example. So the problem is swap the contents of two variables. So this is the problem statement, and basically what you're supposed to do is, supposing let's say A has the value 10 and B has the value 20. So this is before swapping. And after you perform the swapping operation, so you have to write some logic to do the swapping. After swapping, your A will now have the value of B and B will have the value of A. So you are expected to write a generic logic which can swap any values of A and B. So here we know that A is 10 and B is 20, but your code that you, or the algorithm that you come up with, should work for any values of A and B. So how do you do this? So before you start coding it up, you first need to come up with the algorithm, or you need to form a plan as to how you're going to deal with this. So let's say A has the value 10 and B has the value 20. So if you do not want to know the solution right away, you can pause the video right here. But I'm going to just go with the solution. So my strategy would be, I'm going to use another variable called temp, which contains nothing. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to say temp equals to A, which means that temp gets the value of A. So after the execution of this particular statement, the value of A remains unchanged, the value of B remains unchanged. Now temp gets the value of A, so temp is 10. The next step I'm going to write is, I'm going to say A equals to B. So after performing this operation, A gets the value of B, so the current value of B is 20, so A gets 20. So 10 is overwritten with 20. B remains 20 and temp remains 10. Now the next operation I'm going to do is B equals to temp. So after the end of this operation, A remains unchanged, B gets the value of temp, so 20 is overwritten by 10 and temp remains 10. So as you can see, you have swapped the values of A and B by using another variable called temp. So the good thing with programming is you can use how many ever variables you want. There's no restriction on that. So do whatever you have to do to get the task done. It doesn't matter how many variables you're going to use, until and unless you are given a specification saying that you can only use this much amount of variables. But that is generally not the case. So let us try to write the code for this.